Hello friends, I'd like to share with you a song written by Swami Kriyananda. This is actually the introduction to a song written by Swami Kriyananda. I've roamed the far hills and learned many skills. I've wandered on many a shore. Though often I've thought I'd gained what I sought, a voice always said, there's more. Go sing with the sun and dance with the moon. Go ride on the highest star. The reaches of space lack one special place. It's there that my heart did soar. That song is very compelling to me because Swami Kriyananda, who wrote it, goes on in the song to talk about a particular place, Sorrento. The song, it's called Have You Seen Sorrento? And he's, this very movingly how beautiful the place is. But the introduction has such a different character to it. And he's talking about how much he's learned, how much he's experienced, where he's gone, all the different dramas of life. And they really were quite extraordinary in his case. The skills, I've roamed the far hills and learned many skills. That is an understatement in Swami Kriyananda's case. And yet, what he's really saying is that the peace of the heart, the love of the heart goes far beyond any of that. We see this in the Bible, in Corinthians. We see the statement that love essentially conquers all. Love is far beyond anything that we know, any skill that we possess. We can prophesy like the prophets. We can raise the dead, walk on water, etc. And none of that compares to having love, having true charity in our hearts. Swami Kriyananda talked to us many times about challenging times coming to this world. He could see the karmic elements of that brewing decades ahead, and so did Yogananda. And his answer to us, a very succinct answer, was, we need to learn to love heroically. And Nirmala spoke in our last video about perfect love casting out fear, which it does. And learning to love heroically requires something, interestingly, something very yogic. It requires an uplift of energy. She spoke about how we have to let go of the past. And I will just add that by the same token, we have to let go of the future, because all we really have is this moment. We can't live either in the past or the future, though most of us do much of the time. We're reminiscing about the past, we're feeling badly about the past in some way or another, or we're concerned about the future. What will come to us, what's around the corner. But all we really have is now to do with. And when we can live in that now, and when we can raise our own energy up, again, in a very yogic way, and I don't mean yoga in any kind of sectarian way, because the true religions of the world all speak in yogic terms for those who can perceive that, who can look deeply into the scriptures and the traditions. All of them talk about that. We have to lift up the energy. So in our own lives, and I'll just speak very practically here. I was talking on the phone recently with someone, and we got onto the very mundane topic of cleaning out one's closet, which is something that is certainly possible to do in these days where many of us are in our homes much of the time, if not all the time. We're being asked to shelter in place. And so cleaning out the closet. Well, what does it mean to clean out your closet? It's not just a physical place, the closet. It's also the place where there's all this stuff. And the stuff has memories connected with it. It has feelings connected with it. It has old history and attachment potentially connected with it. And so when we go through that process, we're sort of reviewing, and it takes real effort, it takes real energy. This is not by any means an easy process necessarily, but if we can do it with a grateful heart, thankful for the memories, thankful for the gifts that those things have given us, how they've all served us. I remember very fondly my more natural equivalent to cleaning out the closet, since I've never really had a closet that big that I needed to clean it out, is the burn pile. Many of the places that we've lived have been rural, and in cleaning the garden and maintaining the land, there always ends up being lots of branches and sticks and brush and crud that needed to be burned at some point. And that process is highly purifying. I remember vividly one particular burn pile that I had gotten going in a driving rainstorm in the winter. It's a perfect time to do a burn pile because you're not going to light anything else on fire that shouldn't be on fire. But this fire was so hot that it would burn basically anything except metal. And when I left that fire in the evening, there was a pile of glowing coals that was probably this high off the ground, probably 3 or 4 feet, more than 1 meter, 1.5 meters. And it was just a big mound, glowing red and golden. I came back the following morning. The rain had continued all night long. I came back the following morning. There was this much ash on the ground. And that's what happens when the fire of our devotional energy really gets burning. It reduces all that old stuff to pure energy, pure love, pure light. And we are left with this marvelous feeling of lightness and freedom and joy. And so in these days, let us learn to love heroically. It's more challenging when we're with people, perhaps, but we also need to love the life that God has given us and to embrace it energetically in however our circumstances are, whatever situation we find ourselves in. And in so doing, we will learn to cast out any fear, any attachment that may be stuck on our hearts. Namaste.